Right, back with another video. I've done it. At last, I have found a key case. See, this is your standard Volkswagen key, the LED in the top corner. This key case that I've found, if you have the LED in the top corner, it will work. So, if you're not already subscribed, please hit subscribe now. I know a lot, and I'm talking like 90% of my views are coming from people that aren't subscribed to my channel. And I think after the searching that I have done, 3 years this has taken me. I say 3 years, it was 3 years since I did my last key upgrade. But I've constantly been looking for a different key case that the circuit board out of this will fit into. So, want to see what it is? Pop it there. I'm just going to spin you around. This here is a Porsche Cayenne key fob from 2003 to 2016. It looks like a little car. It's even got headlights. And when you press buttons, it lights up. And now it's not going to do it, is it? There, little flash, little flash. So yeah. Does that just unlock my door? Yeah. It's just one moment. Right, so yes. Porsche Cayenne key case. Just press the button on the side, comes up. Works in the ignition, everything hunky-dory. So, how did I get to this? How does it fit? How does it work? I'll show you. Just gonna have to spin you around. Right, so, where have I put my other key case? Original key case. Obviously, I've taken this one apart already because the guts are in this one. I will be taking this one apart because it's not straightforward, but it's easy enough to do. So you've got your original key case. I'll use this one for an example. In here you've got a little pin. To get this key case apart, you have to basically break a little clip inside, which obviously I've done it on this one already. And to do that, you get a pair of pliers. This is the bit I'm not going to be able to do one-handed. You get a pair of pliers, needle nose pliers, in that slot there, push it in, force them apart. So I will do that now on this one. Obviously when you're doing this, there's springs in here that will pop out everywhere. I might not be able to do this one-handed. No, I'm just going to pause you a moment. Right, so yeah. You get pliers in there, force this open, that pops open. Obviously you would have your circuit board laying in here. And what you have to break is a little clip on in here that wraps around that little pin there. So you can put it all back together if you don't want to, if you change your mind or you want to go back to the original key. So that pops off and then your circuit board is sitting in here. I'm now going to take this one apart and show you a few bits inside this that need changing. Right, so this is the inside of the Porsche key. Might do with a bit of light actually, just to is that going to make things a little better? Right, so let's take this one out. So battery out. Now there's a few differences between this circuit board and a Porsche circuit board. The shape is the same. It's the same shape, but this bit here sits this end and holds the battery in place. So obviously with this, you put your battery in there, that battery slides about. So We'll get on to that in a minute. Let's just take this circuit board out. Right, so inside this case, you'll see here, I've had to scrape some of this edge away. And I've also had to take a little bit off this corner here so that the circuit board fits, so that the circuit board fits in there, which is very difficult to do one-handed trying to hold a camera. But you see how it's dropped in on this corner. I might need to take a little bit more off there. You don't want to take too much off, because you don't want this circuit board wobbling around, because then the buttons won't make contact. But if you haven't got it down, the circuit board in far enough, it won't make contact. So when you get it there, I think actually I might need to take, it sits just right in there. So you see here, got this little lump sticking out. I've had to just gently with a blade just scrape at the plastic around the edge, just until that will sit in far enough onto the case. And the second issue that I had, obviously, is the battery. When you put that in there, it should sit up into this bit, because on the original key, it's held in place with this on the case, so that just slides around. So what I've had to do, focus, what I have had to do is I found a piece of plastic that I can't remember what it was off, but it's got a little clip on it. So let's just take that battery out. That just sits between the circuit board in there, and that holds the battery in place. So when I put the battery in now, there you go, you see it's holding in place. When you put the case on, that battery will sit flatter, but obviously these are your contacts that need to be connected. So for the inside of the board, you need to cut a little bit on this top corner, cut a bit off this edge, and find something to wedge the battery into there. Okay, then we move on to the key blade itself. I don't want to lose anything. With the, just that one that way. Where's that's the front. Yeah. So with the Porsche case, this button is actually at the back, so it's on the opposite side to it, which means that, so I've taken this apart before, and it's basically, where's my other key? Here. So this button is on the back on the Porsche key on this corner. So when you open the key, obviously that's going that way. So what you will need to do is this piece of metal that sits in your original key, you are going to have to take it apart to get your key blade out to put into the opposite one. You can't just transfer it across to the other one, because it sits the opposite way and doesn't work. So to get the key blade, we use this as an example. That key blade will sit, just line this up in there, and then there is a little pin that sits in this hole. Unfortunately, I've lost my spare pin. I don't know where it's gone, but to get that pin out of there, 1.5mm drill bit on top of the hole. I think I'd put, yeah, what I'd actually done was I stood it on top of a socket, so, and then got the 1.5mm drill bit, put that on top of the pin, and then hit that with a hammer. Not too hard, but obviously you want it on top of here so that it's got somewhere to fall into. That pin then comes out. The key blade then comes out. Keep your key blade and then go across to the one off the Cayenne key and do exactly the same. Knock the pin out. And then your key blade from your original key will fit into the Cayenne top section. You might find that when you put the blade into place, there's a little lip here. Just knock it with a hammer on a flat surface and it will slide into place, and then put your pin back into place there. Okay. Oh, which one was which? That one. Right, I'm just going to put this back together. I'll just be one moment. Right, so there we are, back together. So another thing that I didn't realise until after I'd done all this was, spot the difference. Unlock, lock, boot, boot, lock, unlock. They're in a different order, but you should be used to your car key by now, knowing that the bottom one is unlock, the top one is lock. That is a small little thing that I'm not really that bothered about. Obviously, if you've got a case like this, you could, I don't know, maybe you could cut them out and put them on there. I might do that. I might cut that one and that one and put them onto the key. I don't know. I might not. I might not. Anyway, so yeah, there it is. Flashing light. Is that gonna? Oh, right. You see that top one's not flashing when I press unlock. That. Oh, there we go. It is doing it. Because of the circuit board inside where I've had to cut that top corner, it doesn't sit quite right. So you have to basically, it needs pushing down a little bit from the back so it makes contact with this. But anyway, that's a little detail. I need to go back in and just sort that out so it can be done. And just to show you, key in the ignition. That's in the ignition, engine on. There we go. So that's that. So lock. I just felt that moving, so it was locking. So there we go. At last, after all this time, I found a key. This does actually come with a Porsche badge to go on the back as well, which sits in there. What I might do though is stick that in there and then put my Volkswagen one over the top of it, off of this key. Take that out, put it over the top of that. So I hope you've all enjoyed the video. It's been a long time for me finding this. There is actually another key as well that I said about in a last video that is expensive. The Bentley Continental GT key, which is the same as Bentley Continental GT, same as, which car did they use it in? Volkswagen Phaeton. It's the same key case as that from the early Volkswagen Phaeton. And Bugatti, that key also will work. Little thing though, the Bentley kit, this one has cost me £14. eBay, Amazon, alarm going off. It's readily available everywhere. AliExpress, the works. The Bentley key, I'm trying to get hold of one, but I lost the bid last night on eBay. The Bentley ones, you're looking at about, well, anywhere between £40 and £90 just for an empty case. The Bugatti, £4,500. We won't go with that. So if you've got any questions or comments, drop them down below. Hit subscribe, hit like. I've done it. I can give up YouTube now. I might, I don't know. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Finally, it's been solved, and the key works, and it looks like a little car. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.